welcome back to Game Talk from the Bench. I'm your host, Drew Barreto, and today I'm here with my guest, my uncle, Andrew Barreto. And today we'll be covering the conference finals and the NBA playoffs, as well as some news around the 2028 Olympics for NFL players, as well as some controversy on one of the, I guess it is the most controversial play in the NFL. And then I'll talk a little bit about MLB reliever being suspended 80 games. But to start, Game 7 for Nuggets Thunder was on Sunday, and this game was a blowout. Aaron Gordon playing on the grade 2 hamstring. He finished the game playing 24 minutes, 8 points. Michael Porter Jr., who was dealing with the shoulder injury, finished with 6 points. And it just looked like this Thunder team, well, not this Thunder, the Nuggets team ran out of gas. I mean, they obviously came off playing a game 7 against the Clippers, and they went 7 games with the Thunder. But yeah, like Jokic 20 points, Jamal Murray 13 points. I mean, Christian Brown at 19, but it looked like they were just gassed out. Jalen Williams had 24, Shea obviously had 35, and just all the rest of the Thunder contributed. And like I said, for the Nuggets, going back to back game sevens, it takes a lot, especially when games are, every other day and they're not getting as much rest, especially between travel days, which I think is beyond me. I still don't know how teams don't get 2 days rest when there's a
Yeah.
travel day. I think that's something the NBA needs to look at. I know NBA players were asking for it, because that's huge. I mean, Curry came off the game 7, got a day off, and then boom, was playing another game, and then boom, hamstring injury. Same with Tatum. Obviously Tatum. They beat the Magic in 5, but then every other day, boom, his Achilles. Same with Dame, boom, Achilles. It's like these guys need just a little bit more rest. They're not asking for a week off. They're just asking for a couple extra days of rest so that they can prepare their bodies and whatnot. But now we're in the conference finals. It's Timberwolves Thunder. Game 1 is currently on right now. It is the third quarter. It's 60-58. And Anthony Edwards did go to the locker room during this game for his ankle. He did come back and return. But yeah, right now, um, Timberwolves lead. Obviously, Julius Randle is still leading that team. He's been great this postseason, and I don't know who you think's winning this series.
Yeah, you're right. Julius Randle, I'm just looking at the box score right now. He's still hot. 6 of 8 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3 point, 20 points right now. Anthony Edwards has 16. Um, I'm taking the Timberwolves. I think they're hot. They're playing some of the best basketball right now. Julius Randle was trying to get MVP or something. I don't know what he's doing, but he's playing, out of his mind. And Anthony Edwards, once he gets going, that's kind of like it just contagious to the rest of the teammates. Nas Reed, we already talked about their bench plenty of time. They had a really good team. Not to say that the Thunder doesn't. I mean, Shea Gilgeous and all those guys, they got the young legs. So this is good to see. 2 stars going at it, 2 of the highest scoring guards in the league. Anthony Edwards and Shea Gilgeous Alexander. But I'm still taking the Timberwolves. I'd say, if I had to say something, it would be them like in 6 or something. I think they steal today's game, steal that home court kind of thing. And but yeah, I like their chances in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Timberwolves in 6, like you said, Julius Randle's been on fire. I think he is going for that, Western Conference and playoffs MVP. But yeah, they've been playing great ball on both sides, offensively and defensively. They been getting the job done. The guys off the bench have stepped up. DiVincenzo, Nikhil Alexander Walker, and Nas Reed. And yeah, I think this game goes. I think the series goes 6 games, but I think the Timberwolves do come out on top. I just think, like you said, they've been on fire recently. And, the Thunder struggled a little bit against
Mm-hmm.
the Thunder, and obviously, like the Timberwolves, they beat the Lakers in 5. Same with the Warriors, although the Warriors were without Kareem, but they just been playing great basketball, and they've been closing out games. They've just been getting big leads, and they haven't been blowing them like some of the other teams throughout this postseason.
Yeah,
But
like
yeah,
you said, they're closing out their teams. Lakers, Warriors, they're getting rest. They're healthy right now. Everything going good for them, and in the right direction. And OKC, they battled just through 7 games. I know they went ahead and ran away with it, in that game 7 against the Nuggets. But I feel the same way. Like, Nuggets had to go 2 straight 7 games. They fought, they tried, they gave everything they could. But once injuries start to plague you, like it did with Aaron Gordon this time of year, yeah, it's just a bit much. And I think Jokic said he's going to be drinking a whole lot of beer this
Yeah.
off season. So
Yeah, he did.
I like them. I like the matchup. This is a young guy who's going to go at it, but yeah, I'm giving the advantage to the Timberwolves for this series.
Yep. But in the Eastern Conference, we have. But I just want to point this out right now. We will have a new champion.
Yeah, that's
This
good.
year there won't be back to back. Obviously one of these young teams is gonna win it. Timberwolves, Thunder, and in the East we got the Pacers and the Knicks. And I know what the Pacers and the Thunder. No, I know the Timberwolves don't have a franchise championship. I don't think the Thunder do either. Does the Pacers?
The Pacers, yeah, we whoever has one, maybe the Knicks have one, but we have to go way back in the
Yeah,
archive. It's been a while, but it's good to see young faces of of the leagues, now in the Final Four, trying to get to the finals, and yeah, new champion will be crowned. Halliburton against Jalen Brunson, and both guys, they have a strong bench as well. So, yeah, that's another exciting series. I'm not disappointed with any of these matchups. I just think they're both going to be, tune in, watch some NBA, and see some good games. Um, and on that one there, I'm going 7 games on this one here. I'm taking the Knicks. Hopefully, the Knicks, they get back to where they haven't been in quite some time. I'm going to look that up right now. I think the Knicks have one, a ring.
yeah. I also believe this series goes 7 games, but I'm actually gonna
Are you
pick the
copying me?
Pacers. No, I think the Pacers are gonna come out on top after 7. I think obviously the Knicks are a great team. They got a bunch of great players, but they only play only a certain amount of guys compared to the Pacers who have like 10 guys that they're able to play, and each one contributes in a big way. Obviously, these two teams faced in the postseason last year with the Pacers coming out on top, but the Knicks did deal with some injury last postseason. But I think the Pacers come out on top in 7. I think they're just more well rounded. I think they counter certain parts of that Knicks team. I believe they got more size, and it's gonna be a great series. Both two young teams hungry, like you said, Halliburton versus Brunson. Two young point guards leading their team. It's just gonna come down to the key contributors, the other guys, who steps up more on each team. You
So
know,
we got the Knicks. They have 2 championships, 1970, 1973. So it's been a little while.
yeah,
Yeah. It says Pacers have won 3, but at the ABA 70, 72. Yeah, I'm not familiar with all that stuff there, but yeah, if you have to start talking ABA championship, that means it was a while ago.
yeah. So yeah,
It's
it's gonna be a new champion in a while. And like I said, for the Thunder and the Timberwolves,
yeah,
they have a shot at winning their first franchise um championship. So that's big news. But yeah, I mean, my finals prediction, I think Timberwolves and Knicks would be um I think cinema. But I think Timberwolves and Pacers are going to end up in the finals this year, and I think the Timberwolves come out on top.
yeah. It sounds like a good prediction. Looks like the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now this is a quick AI overview. I didn't do any fact checking here, but formerly the Seattle Supersonics, they won one championship in 1979. Uh,
Okay,
yeah. So who's yeah. So we'll
but
see.
yeah,
I mean, it's been a while for all these teams. They
yeah,
just been waiting for this to happen, and yeah, they're like I said, I like these matchups, and we're pretty close on this 67. See now Thunder's taking the lead 66-60 third quarter.
yeah, they've gone
Uh,
on a 10-0 run. But yeah, it's gonna be very great to see Game 1 for the Pacers Knicks is tomorrow, which I'm surprised they didn't play today because their series wrapped up quicker. But that's the NBA for you. But And enough for NBA playoffs right now. We'll obviously continue to talk about the series as they continue to go on. But moving on to the NFL. So for those who don't know, flag football will be at the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. So the big thing, obviously, for those, when the basketball was in the Olympics, obviously big time players, didn't play for Team USA, obviously until the Dream Team. Um, and they recently had the vote to allow NFL players to participate in the flag football, and it was passed unanimously. All 32 teams allowed will allow up to one of their players to play on each country's team. Um, the NFL's international pathway players will also be allowed to participate without restrictions. And this is awesome, like some players like Justin Jefferson, he said he had a dream about playing in the Olympics and flag football and winning a gold medal, and now he's able to do that. And for the Olympics, it says each team will feature 10 total players. 5 players from each team can take the field at a time. Teams will play two 20-minute halves. So that's gonna be really cool to see. Obviously Olympics here in Los Angeles. It's interesting to see. Have these big name players competing with and possibly against each other in some
Yeah,
flag
we'll
football.
see. We'll see how that goes. It is interesting. It's probably I would say it's a step ahead of whether they have they just had handball and breakdancing was in the Olympics this last in Paris, and that didn't go well because I don't think they're coming back the next time around because of it just they didn't send the best breakdancers and they became a sideshow kind of thing and rather than a competition. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Is Justin Jefferson going to be on that team? We don't know. I think the owners and the teams are going to executives and whoever makes decisions allowing them to play in these games. I mean, you're paying those guys to play NFL football, millions of dollars. So to have them play in the Olympics and risk getting hurt, um, I think that's just something that's probably definitely going to come to mind. And I don't see, like Patrick Mahomes. It would be something, right? Patrick Mahomes, Justin Jefferson. You send out your A team, right, and just start going to kick everybody's butt. Maybe. I mean, there's other people who've been playing this flag football for a really long time, and we'll have to see how that goes. But I don't. You ever heard of Robert Edwards?
I have not.
You have not. He was in 1998. He was a first round draft pick of the New England Patriots. He actually, let's see, he actually rushed 1,115 yards in 1998. He was invited to the Pro Bowl and he was in some rookie flag football game. Tore his knee three. What does it say? He blew out his knee at the games were in Hawaii back then, and he barely. I mean, it got so bad they started talking about leg amputation. So that was just a flag football game. It's supposed to be rookie flag football game, having fun, and I've even seen like little highlights here and there of the um, they have the Pro Bowl and now they're doing flag
Yeah,
football. These guys are lowering the shoulder, right? Which I know you're not supposed to, but some of these guys are competitive, right? This is the
yeah,
competitiveness is going to get to them, and someone's going to accidentally lower the shoulder and hit somebody, and he's going to have take some time to get back up. And yeah, Edwards, he never played again. He tried to make a comeback. It just didn't pan out. I mean, he tried to go to Canadian Football League, and he was a promising rookie. Like I said, he had big numbers his rookie year, and I know they would hate to see something like this happen. So that's why I'm kind of like, we'll see who's actually going to the to this, and we'll have to wait few years to see what that roster's like. It is interesting though. I do give them that, but there's a lot of money at stake.
yeah. Obviously, there is a big concern for injury. Obviously, like you said, the top name players, it would be happening over the summer, right before the season. So, like you said, big injuries could possibly happen and affect NFL teams, seasons that year and possible futures. And yeah, so I could definitely see, that point of view from people and from the franchises, like what if my star player is like out for the year for multiple. And but I mean, at the same time, it's like it's the risk some of these guys want to take. They want to have the chance to win that gold medal. Especially since football isn't in the Olympics, but
Yeah.
now they have flag football, so it gives them a chance to you know go show the world. Obviously the NFL's been doing like the international games in London. They did one in what was it, Brazil, Germany. So yeah, I mean they're just trying to expand the game, and I think this is a way for them to show the world the top talent that the NFL has.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I'm saying this is going to be interesting on who they send um, to participate. And yeah, is it who's go? Is it linemen? Are linemen eligible? Any center? Do they need a center? How does this work? I know receivers are going to probably be a must, right? They have to, they have all the quickness and juke moves and quarterbacks. You need a quarterback. But what about the linemen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna need the lineman. I think they're just gonna have like the ball in that little stand. Quarterback's just gonna snap it, and then they're just gonna play.
No linebackers needed. Yeah, see, it's going to be interesting. There's still a few years to try to work it out, and like I think one of the articles I was reading said that yeah, the executives are going to have to get together and they're going to try to work it out to where some of the big names can be in there, and see who gets the okay and who doesn't.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see who participates in this and who is not gonna participate in this. But the next big football thing we want to talk about is the tush push. NFL owners and even coaches want to make a vote to ban the play. Um, for multiple reasons. Some people say it's a cheapo play, some say it's illegal, some say, big risk of injury. But I don't know. I mean, the big controversy. I mean, obviously, the Eagles are the only team that are just really good at it. Obviously, they have the great offensive line. They got Jalen Hurts, who benches 300 pounds. Then they got Saquon Barkley, who's pushing them from behind. So, like, they have the force to get it done, and none of the teams able to replicate it like them. And now, they're in this predicament where like now this play might get banned. But
Yeah,
what are your thoughts? Do you
I
do
think
you think it should be banned?
nah, I don't. They have these meetings every year, and I think they're just looking to like someone's complaining. I think who was it? The Green Bay Packers are
Yeah,
complaining. They're outraged about this play. I think it's, and I didn't read all of it, but is it more the push from behind? After it's not so much the sneak because it's like the quarterback sneak to
yeah,
get that first down. It's the pushing behind and getting that first down that way. Which, like you said, they have a great offensive line. They could give it to Barkley in the backfield. He's going to get that 1 yard, but they choose to do it this way instead. Just stay low, fire off, and move forward, get that first down. Like AJ Brown said, it's only 1 yard. I have no thoughts on
yeah,
it, but I think it's
yeah,
just like some teams are. We'll see how the vote goes, but yeah, some teams are just bitter, and there's always these new things brought up at these meetings, what to ban and what's okay, what's not okay. You ever heard of the Tuck rule? That rule got changed the next year too.
yeah.
So I mean, anyways, I think just move on and see how this works out. I don't have a problem with it really. I mean, once you stop them before that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, don't let them get to that, situation. But another thing, people, they're complaining about like the injury concern and the legal formation of it, which I can understand the legal formation part, but the injury part, I mean, like they don't have an analytic on like what's the injury percentage of some guys getting hurt, because obviously guys are going low at each other, but I mean, I don't see, I always see every clip, they always post it all over social media when they do the tush push, and I don't normally ever see guys getting injured on that play. So I mean, I don't see the injury. I mean, I do see the injury aspects. Guys, diving low at the knees. It is dangerous, but I just haven't seen many guys go down with the injury. I mean,
Yeah,
but
they
I
do
mean,
that. They do that quarterback keeper. They do the quarterback keeper. He dives over the top. And that one seems a little bit more like, hey, a linebacker could just knock you out, which we've seen actually a couple times where, they take a jab at them, and um, they're always changing. Running backs can't lower their shoulders, and quarterbacks, have to slide. There's always these rule changes, and it's just to make all these owners, whoever's complaining, a little bit happier.
Yeah, for the vote though, it requires 24 out of the 32 club owners to vote in support of it. That's the only way they could get it banned. Otherwise, it'll stay. But yeah, it says per ESPN research, Philadelphia and Buffalo have utilized the play more than the other 30 teams combined on the past 2 years to an 87% success rate in terms of converting either a touchdown or a first down. And coaches are just not happy. You know, they're saying it's hard to defend, it's hard to deal with. But the Eagles are 39 of 48 when converting the tush push into a first down or a touchdown this past season. That includes the playoffs. And it says of the 9 times that they failed, the Eagles followed with the first down or touchdown on the next play using a tush push. 8 times that included two via defensive offside on a tush push formation. Um, so the only time that the tush push was truly stopped was after an aborted snap in week 1 where they kicked a field goal on the next play, which was Cam Jurgens' first start after Jason Kelsey retired. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the play is I wouldn't say illegal. I do say it does have its advantages, but every team could do it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just limited to the Eagles. It's almost like saying since Lamar Jackson's so good at running out the pocket and scrambling, they should ban him for it, right? It's like just
Yeah.
because one team is so good at it, I mean, it doesn't mean you got to take it away. I mean, like I said, if there's like a decent analytic or like a good analytic that shows the high injury percentage of players getting injured on that play, then I could see, yeah, this play should
Yeah, like the horse collar, right? Like people
yeah,
were getting brought
or like
down with the horse collar from
the hip
behind.
drop. Yeah, the hip
Yeah,
drop
and
tackle.
and that
They didn't ban it, but they're penalizing it now. So
yeah.
yeah, I like if it's truly causing injury to the defensive players, then okay, yeah, I see that you can ban the play. But as of now, I don't think it's a big issue. I just think teams are just tired of going against it,
They're
and it's
trying to.
just
They're just tired of losing in general. It's probably all the teams that lost to the Eagles. I don't think the Raiders. They've been in tush push formation because they don't score a whole lot. So
yeah.
uh, they're probably the one like it doesn't matter to us. We need to score this year. That's what their concern is, like how to move the ball down the field, not so much the 1 yard that they need to get for a first down or a touchdown. So I don't know. I think it's pretty comical. I think I don't know. Just play football.
Yeah, obviously, the Packers are one of the big teams, because I mean, obviously, the Eagles beat them twice, um, in the past season. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it should be banned. I mean, it's just like I said, every team can do it. It's not limited to one team. But
Yeah, it's a copycat, right? Copycat league too. I mean, once somebody has something good working for them, then others copy it.
yeah,
Um,
like the Bills do it.
there you go.
They're not as successful. I saw in the playoffs they tried running a couple times against the Chiefs, and they kept getting stopped. But they were trying to do it, and it's like every team could do it. It's just getting it done, getting that 1 yard. I
Some
get
teams may not want their quarterback, running that. Maybe they don't even run a quarterback sneak or this tush push. They don't want their quarterback in that situation in case something goes wrong. I mean,
yeah, but I've seen the Chiefs use their tight end. One of their backup tight ends will go into center, and then boom, they'll just rush forward with him. So I mean, they could alternate. Whoever's behind the center, they could use a fullback or running back, tight end. Doesn't have to be the quarterback, but yeah, I don't think play should be good. It's kind of like one of those entertainment plays. Like, oh, is this team gonna get the stop, or is the Eagles just gonna dominate them again? But
it's like rugby, right? Rugby, they line up and
yeah,
go to go.
that's another thing that people are saying. It's not a football play; it's a
Uh,
rugby play. But the sports are similar. But
yeah, just play. I mean,
yeah,
who knows? I mean, I could say, is it fourth quarter with no time left and this is the last play, or they're whining or something? I don't know. Yeah, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Um, yeah, I think they just move on, play some ball, and just something to talk about. I think, but yeah, it does look like more people are making a big deal out of it than what I personally think it is.
Yeah, yeah. But moving on from the tush push, I just want to touch on this MLB reliever being suspended. Philadelphia Phillies reliever Jose Alvarado suspended 80 games for violating the league's joint drug prevention and treatment program. Alvarado um, um, what's it called? Suspended for a drug that wasn't like a steroid to to make him better. This guy is really one of the top flamethrowers out of bullpens, throwing 100 miles per hour. It was actually a drug that was trying to help him lose weight. He was always insecure about how big of a guy he was, and the owner knew about it. Obviously he was just trying to lose weight, but apparently, they tested positive for it. And so now it looks like the Phillies are in look of a new reliever. They're looking at guys like David Robertson, who's currently a free agent, or they're gonna look via trade for maybe Anthony Bender of the Marlins, Dennis Santana of the Pirates, Kenley Jansen from the Angels. But yeah, I mean, big suspension, especially when Jansen's been great this season. He was 4-1, had a 2.7 ERA, 25 strikeouts. But yeah, big reliever for the Phillies out for the rest. Not the rest of the season, but he's not
80
eligible for the.
games, man, that's huge.
Yeah, he's out. He's out for the He's not eligible for the postseason. So yeah, it's a tough blow for the Phillies. Obviously he'll probably try to appeal it, but those are hard to win. But yeah, I just want to touch on that real quick because that's a big name. And MLB's, like I said, he's one of the top flamethrowers. Um, out of bullpen. So yeah, that will conclude all for today. Thank you all for tuning in and listening. Uh, I like to thank my guest, my uncle, for joining with me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and comment what you guys want us to talk about. We're also on TikTok and Instagram where I post, uh, videos of like my post game reactions, especially with these playoffs going on. As well as we're on Spotify and YouTube, so you can catch our episodes on Spotify or YouTube. And yeah, so thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, stay ready.